What's up, everyone? Back for another vlog, and in today's vlog I will be showing you the Shelfie beers that I'll be reviewing during the month of November 2022. So Shelfie beer reviews are back after a 1-month hiatus. I didn't post Shelfie beer reviews last month in October because mostly of the 10 days of pumpkin, but also friends of the channel who hooked me up with so much beer. The generosity knows no bounds for a lot of my beer tubing friends, and I had so much beer that I had to review, so I was like, I'm not going to buy 8 or 9 more for Shelfie beer review, so went on hiatus for 1 month, bringing it back this month. Now, if you're a relatively new viewer of the channel, you may not know what Shelfie beer reviews are. It's pretty simple. They are beers that I can pick off the shelf of local beer stores and bottle shops and grocery stores in my neck of the woods here in Buffalo, New York. I try to keep the selection to breweries that are more of a, let's just say, from bigger regional, national, and international breweries. If you're in the northeastern part of the U.S., you should be able to procure most of these beers. If not, you should be able to get your hands on a couple of them. I try to make it an interesting selection each month based on new releases, maybe old classics I want to review, and so on and so forth. And I post Shelfie beer reviews every single Tuesday and Friday of each month. And yeah, that's all we got. So let's go over them real quick. Now, these are all the beers I'm reviewing this month. There's 9 of them because there are 9 Tuesdays and Fridays in the month of November 2022. And they are in order from your left to right on how I'm going to post them. So this will be the first of the month. This will be the last. So let's go over them real quick. And when I say that, it's probably going to be like 6 to 8 minutes, but as quick as I can go because I like to talk. Anyway, first beer of the month. It's a collaboration between Labatt USA and Barstool Sports, their Spittin' Chicklets podcast. They came up with a Big Deal Brewing, and this is the first release. It's their original golden ale, 4.5% alcohol by volume. Has a spiel on the back, which I will read when I do the actual review. But yeah, they've decided to collab, and this is the first release. They're probably going to do more beers, and I like the Spittin' Chicklets podcast. I'm not like I'm not a consistent viewer, but I do occasionally listen to, or I shouldn't say viewer, listener, and not viewer, it's a podcast, but I think you can probably watch it on their YouTube channel. Anyway, whenever they have an interesting guest, maybe like an old school hockey player that I really like, or just somebody interesting, I watch it. I like the dynamic of current NHLers being on the podcast, being interviewed by former NHLers. I think it's pretty cool. So I'm hoping that this beer is pretty good. We'll see. It's it's a big deal here in Buffalo, New York. Labatt USA, their headquarters here in Buffalo, New York. So when they rolled this one out, I heard a ton about it. So just picked up Canon. It's about a month old, so we should be fine. Next, we have from Lagunitas. We have their Maximus Colossal IPA. So I haven't had this one in many years. It's probably been like 7 or 8 years. And I saw it and I was like, I'm going to grab it. 9% double IPA. It's brewed with old school hops, Simcoe, Cascade, Centennial, because it's an old school beer. The thing is that this is a bit older. It's about 2.5 months old. But, when you're shopping for Shelfie beers, or at least I am, let's say it's your local grocery store and you just want to grab a 6-pack of something. Sometimes it's not ideal when it comes to the freshness. It's just not. So this is 2.5 months old, older school IPA. Should be okay. It was kept cold the entire time. We will see how that one is. I remember, being okay, but then again, I didn't love big, West Coast style double IPAs, back in the early to mid 2010s. So I think I'm going to like this one a little bit more than I used to. Next, we have from Dewclaw, we have their Sweet Baby Hazel Chocolate Hazelnut Porter. It's a porter with chocolate, hazelnut, and vanilla flavors. 6.2% alcohol by volume. It's about 7 weeks old as well. And I'm really excited about this one. Why? I'm not a huge fan of their Sweet Baby Jesus, their Sweet Baby Java, which is their chocolate peanut butter porter and chocolate peanut butter coffee porter. I think I don't know if I did a side-by-side or I did individual reviews, but I did live reviews of those two beers, and they're okay to me. I know a lot of people out there that love those two beers, or at least one of them, and that's the beauty about craft beer. We all have different opinions. I wasn't a huge fan. They're okay to me. This, I really like hazelnut. I'm thinking like Nutella vibes. We will see. Hopefully I enjoy this one more than the aforementioned two. Next, we have somewhat of a classic, I would say, here. From Elysian, we have their Space Dust IPA. So this is a pretty old school double IPA. I love how they call it IPA. It's 8.2%. It's basically a double. They brew this one with Chinook and then late and dry additions of Citra and Amarillo. First time I had this one had to be like 2013 or 14, and I remember really digging it. Then they got bought out by Budweiser, and honestly, once that happened, we didn't see as much distro of this beer. it became harder to find. Over the last couple of years, though, I've seen this all over the place, so I picked it up. Relatively fresh, too. The best buy, or experience buy, though, I say experience buy, is January 31st of 2023, so it's about 3 months away. I don't know if they give 6 months or 4 months. Regardless, they say I can experience it by January 31st of next year, and it should be fine. We will see, Elysian. Next, we have a new release from Dogfish Head, and I've seen a couple other fellow beer tubers review this one. I have not watched any reviews yet. So this is their Wake Up Worldwide Stout. So it's their Worldwide Stout. Basically, I think it says ale with natural flavors, 15.3%. I want to say they're using, so on ingredients, malted, so they're using cold-pressed coffee, oat milk solids, cinnamon, and organic maple syrup. So this is like a breakfast beer they're kind of going for, right? Like almost like a breakfast stout, but at 15.3%, because that's what Dogfish Head does. Really looking forward to that one. It has the danger cap. We'll see. Probably is dangerous, though. Next, we have from Jack's Abbey, we have their Smoke and Dagger. So they call this one a black lager. Now, here's the thing. The spiel on the side here just says a lot of stuff that really doesn't mean anything. I mean, it sounds nice, but it's not great in terms of telling me what's in this beer. But 5.6% alcohol by volume. Now, the reason why it's called Smoke and Dagger is because I remember them saying this was like a hybrid of a German Schwarzbier, aka a black lager, and like a smoked porter, or even like a German Rauchbier. It's basically a smoked black lager is what it is. The fact that they just call it a black lager, I feel like if you pick this one up, you might not think you're going to get that smokiness, but I remember this one being quite smoky. I've had it numerous times, so I grabbed this one. The one thing about this is, though, this can, by the time I review, it's probably going to be about 8 months old. Should it matter? Probably not with a beer like this. Also, the Dogfish Head beer is about 6 or 7 weeks old as well. Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to that. Jack's Abbey, they made great lagers, and yeah, I like this one. Anyway, next we have a new release from Left Hand. It's their French Toast Milk Stout. So this one, I'm not a huge fan of the ingredients listing here. It's 6% alcohol by volume, but this is what I don't like, and it feels like Left Hand, you know, they give you ingredients, but this is what they say. They say this is a stout with natural flavors and caramel color. Why is the caramel color in there? Why is that a necessity if you're just brewing a French Toast Milk Stout? That shouldn't be a thing. And then it says ingredients right under: Rocky Mountain water, malted barley, malted caramel barley, rolled oats, lactose, hops, French toast flavor, and yeast. I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I call Left Hand the king of the nitro beers, and I really like most of their older school offerings, but they've been missing the mark for like the last year. A lot of their beers just not that great. And when I see stuff like that, I don't know. I hope this is delicious, but at the same time, I'm disappointed in what I'm reading. We will see. Next, we have a beer that I shouldn't say I've been wanting to review it, but I've been meaning to review it for many, many months, if not a good year. And then a friend of the channel, and or I should say viewer of the channel, a relatively new viewer of the channel, Sweet Symphony, he's been posting a lot of comments under a lot of my reviews, and now I'm friends with him on Untappd, and we started talking about, Allagash White, and he was like, oh, I love Curio, and I was like, man, I should review that. So here we are, from Allagash, it's a Curio. So they call this one a Belgian-style golden ale, aged in bourbon barrels, 10.2%. What this basically is Allagash takes their Belgian-style Tripel, which I think they just call it their Tripel. They age it in bourbon barrels, I think, for a couple months, and then they blend it with a fresh batch of their Tripel. The fact they call it Belgian-style golden ale, whatever, I mean, that's fair. I mean, that's what that is. But, it's weird they just don't say Belgian-style Tripel, Asian bourbon barrels. I guess maybe the blending and whatnot. But anyway, this was bottled on February 16th of 2022. So by the time I review this, it'll be like 9 months. That's cool, though. This beer can definitely age. I've had it fresh. I've had it aged. I had it when they used to have it in the big, was it the 750s? I think it was 750 milliliter bottles. I had that a couple times. I don't think I've had it yet in the 12-ounce bottle, so I'm really excited about that. Last but not least, we have from Firestone Walker, we have their Mocha Dolce Nitro Stout. So I reviewed their Cinnamon Dolce Nitro Stout last year. Was basically, this beer is their Velvet Merlin Milk Stout in a nitro can. Last year's, I believe, this was cinnamon and vanilla. This year, it is with coffee, cocoa nibs, and vanilla. So they basically replaced the cinnamon with coffee and cocoa nibs, and really fresh too. Where did I see the date on this? I know this, it was somewhere they had the date. I don't know what happened to it, but I definitely had what the hell? I don't know. It's fresh though. It just came in. But anyway, these are the Shelfie beers, plural, that I'll be reviewing for this month. I'm really looking forward to all of them. The ones piquing my interest the most, obviously this, I would go with the Wake Up Dead Worldwide Stout. And the French Toast one I was really excited about, but like after reading the can, I'm like, No preconceived notions. I say that, right? I do have some for that one. But the Curio, not having this one in a while. And then this, see how it compares to last year. So anyway, if you can get your hands on any of these, pick them up. Drink along with my reviews. That's why I post this vlog at the beginning. It's basically beginning of each month or the end of the previous month. Is so if you want to grab any of these and drink along with my reviews, you kind of know how I'm going to post these every Tuesdays and Fridays, every Tuesday and Fridays. Didn't need to plural the Tuesdays. But anyway, yeah, so not much more to say about it. I'm looking forward to all of these. Which one are you looking forward to the most if you watch this one to the end? These are always longer. I like to talk about them. I like to show you guys what I grabbed. And in addition to this, I have a ton of other beer that I'll be reviewing in November. So appreciate everybody stopping by for another vlog. Until the next one, cheers.